Hi, folks. Are you ready for something new today? Every day. The day of the Lord no more, or the day of the new covenant, or Jesus, you being the pattern of. Wasn't Jesus talking about living a life, showing us deeds, miracles, a way of life? A way of life not to just admire his and attribute his works to him, but to see that you can do them too. We are no longer finite because we are no longer the finite consciousness of constructing a finite consciousness in each other. We are the Creator's course for miracles to take place now, or be simply who we are, our natural state of clinging no longer to flesh. Well, you see, I'm an old man. I'm love in action. I teach disciples not. I teach leaders. Or am I creating creators? This is the creator's course, the conscious creator's course. Because up to now, we haven't been conscious of our power, of who we are, of what we are, of where we are, of where we can be, of what we can do. We are no longer finite. We are light people upon the earth, coming and doing the things that Jesus did and greater, my friends. You see, I'm not developing friends in this course. I'm developing lifelong buddies, not again. I'm developing leaders who creators are, who create themselves anew according to Jesus, the pattern. The pattern given us, the pattern you can learn, the pattern you can be. Become Jesus in your shoes. This is the constant creator, continuous creation. This is the flow of love, loving love, creating with love. Now, not your word of pain and finiteness. You're no longer looking to serve God here. If you want to serve God, go somewhere else. Learn from a teacher that incarcerates you with those words of flesh to keep you here until you die. This is school. This is a school of life, not this is a school of love that preempts it not again, but channeling many miracles now. Will you in your word become the Christ in your shoes, whether you call it channeling or not, new age or not, life in this realm, not limited to this realm or not? There's a cost to being here. And if you want to be in this school, the school of God with Jesus the pattern, becoming the pattern in your shoes, a light race, no longer finite, no longer serving the ways of mammon, no longer dedicating your life to just having a living or doing better, doing better, doing better, but becoming the Christ in your shoes, the new covenant, flowing the new covenant, teaching the new covenant, receiving the new covenant, writing the new covenant with your pen. A new covenant. A new one that you author. You become the author of. The author of salvation, not again. The author of becoming who you are. You work through it. You live through it. You write through it. You become the consciousness of it, creating a role for you in life here on earth that you never knew, that you never imagined, that's never been known, or was it begun in Jesus the pattern? Will you have the mind of God in you? Are you willing to have the mind of Christ in you? The Christ mind, the consciousness, the action, the understanding, the knowledge, the wisdom. No longer caught off guard by a stray remark. Or will you be that which controls you no more in your sorrow to frame a God that you must serve? Will you no more control God? Will you no more be it in its image or imaging it in your mind to need it, to serve it, to hope it comes and gives you a better life later? If you're not willing to pick up your pen, you're not in the school. Really? If you're not willing to write me, you're not in this school. If you're not willing to see with new eyes, you're not in this school. You think you are, but you may be just living by thought. Thought, a thought life. Thought giving you images, living your images out day by day in thought processing, thought, a realm of thought. But I'm not living in thought anymore, limited to thought land. I'm creating disciples, not. I'm not looking for those who will follow me, like me, love me, hold on to me, finance me. I'm looking for love to be in action by you, who will hold a standard not of other. Or will you set your alarm and get up at 2 a.m. in the morning to write me? Write me a man, write me God. Write God. Write God, not a man, but a woman. Write the words of the ungendered me. Meonics of, will you study? Will you learn love? Will you be you of light, no more so ignorant of you, who you are? Will you be the light people? Coming into light, no longer processing the light for your own purposes. No longer just trying to live a better life. Adore the earth, king the Kong, wear the breath of a believer. Will you no longer believe in breath? Or breathing, what are you? What are you willing to breathe into the words of the Lamb no more in affliction? Will you see your power no more abated from you? Are you willing to flow the first person words of the new covenant? Me, God. Will you write you? Will you become you? Will you learn a new vocabulary for the King's breath? That's you. Will you king you with your own breath? Will you no longer live in sorrow? Will you change what you see, my friend? Will you see leaders now changing the tree of life? between your ears, the construction of sorrow. No more the skyscrapers of. I no longer scrape your sky looking for you and the neurons. I'm, I'm completing me. Of disciples, not, but leaders. And this is a course of sorrow no more. Or will you leave behind a lot of sorrow? Lay aside a lot of sorrow. Will you no longer create sorrow for each other? You first. If you're not willing to begin to channel, you're not in the school. I'm inviting you to be in the school, but it's hard not. It's religious not. It's about being born again, not as a Christian does, or the way that Christians teach it. But this is becoming a new light person, a person in your infinites. Your immanence, your infinites. You're really infinite. In love, with love, to love love, if you will be it. Knowing the words, the mantra not, the calling, the chants of, or will you change what comes through your mouth, through your mind, with the flow of love now? Channel you, or will you channel it? Will you change what you're conscious of? I love you to obey man no more. Obey not the teachings of God. Boy, that's pretty direct, isn't it? There are so many out there teaching God. Teaching God is this, that, and the other. Teaching according to their Bible that they adopt as their religious code. And they are all living a lie. Turning down the heat. You see, I'm a simple guy. I am not eloquent. I am a teacher of the law, not. I am a teacher of love, loving love. And this is love in action, not the patrimony of, the patriarchy of, nor the matriarchy. But I live love in two shoes. And now, many women will. And women will bring forth the birth. Would the woman exceed not, or are you the Adamic race no more? Atomic led by. I'm the quantum race not, or am I? Changing what you feel about love and see as your role in the earth and this great opportunity for you to be led by Jesus the pattern no more, but becoming it in your shoes. Willing to write me? Write the Lord of the armies of vowels and consonants not, or will you change the 26 letters of the law? Or will you change all that you see, feel, think, and become this day? No longer led by love that holds you here. Will you leave behind no one not, or will you leave behind a life of sorrow to be the life of love in light your two shoes with? Do you see what I'm saying? A new race of light is coming forth, a race of lovers who love each other, who are no longer dependent on marriage to faith, sitting on a pew, delighting and clapping their hands and rejoicing in the Lord. Will you anemic no more become? Will you no longer succumb to the feebleness of mankind's mind and its dementia and how it's been disabled and how it conquers the troops of sorrow not, but the heavens with love not, but religion. Religion, you see, takes God and puts it between you and your power so that you never exercise your power. You never know what it is. You think it's God's power. You think it's God. You submit yourselves to the laws of man, eating Mammon's trays of fruit. If you're not willing to do a new thing, you're not in this school. And I invite you to be in this school, but it's not easy. It's hard not. It's love becoming love, the tree of life, love, peace, joy supreme. This is where you begin to create a new consciousness. Do you hear? Do you see? Do you feel? Are you willing to become? Are you willing to change your signature and what you sign all the time? What are you ascribing to the values of you? What are your values, O Creator? Yours, not the mind of God somewhere else that created you to be in sorrow and crawl into a casket. Are you willing to see, hear, feel, become something brand new? Yes, brand new. Without a label of your sorrow, some denomination or religion of. No more trying to exclude people or include you in theirs, or wanting cliches, memes to make you feel better about yourself. Will you let go of all of that stuff that has so encumbered us? All of the judgment, all of the feebleness, all of the finite ways of this world, and see your opportunity to be you. See your opportunity to be you. See your opportunity to create. I've shown you many pictures that I have created with AI in this last year. And I'm asking you to create not just new pictures, or will you create a new picture of you with AI, with a sketch program? Will it fill in the blank? Or will you create a new you in your consciousness? As a creator creating you again, taking your power off of you no longer and dismantling it to serve someone else, be it a God concept, ruler or king. I am creating love. Unconditional love is infinite. Unconditional love is kind. Unconditional love is never brutal. There is no brutality in unconditional love. Jesus became the lover, the first, to imbibe, to ascribe, to appropriate, to listen with a new listening system, a new listening ability. The ability to listen to what? The inner voice, the inner mind, the mind of a kingdom, that says there's a promised land within you. And if you will go there, you will be it. You see, the way of light, the door of light, the path of light, the path of love. Not love as defined by man, and certainly not by God and religion, but the path of unconditional love is for you to create it, not separate from you to worship it, but to see love as your lover of you that encompasses all of this and each other. Did you hear me? You're no longer alone. You're no longer finite. You're no longer in lack. You're no longer hoping for a better job. What is it, Matthew 6:24? I usually say 6:33, but I looked it up the other day. I think it's 6:24. You cannot serve God and mammon. All the people who want to pull for money, 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 money to build the house of God, the kingdom of God, they're all fools, imposters. And they will hate me, and they will hate this message of Christ because they want to be right in their own eyes and have their income and manage their income, be popular. I'm not seeking popularity. I'm seeking leaders to become creators, not of faith, but of love and action, with your mind, your voice, your flesh being God's in two shoes, yours, one and the same, doing the miracles Jesus did and greater forevermore. This is the eternal covenant, the covenant that's within you, that's inextricable to you, that you can lie about, you can cheat, you can steal, you can be the seven sons of Siva, you can be all the stories in the Bible about teaching God, about God, about God, about God, about what God will do, can do, should do, will do for you. But my friend, until you become it in your shoes, you don't know what you're talking about. Unless you're becoming it, the Word in action. This is the Word made flesh. This is not just about Jesus being the only one. Jesus never meant to be the only one. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who he is? Don't you know who you are? Who do you say that I am? Tell me who I am, and I'll tell you who you are. Where do I get these things? My mind? My love. My database. My database, my information center. The distribution center of all knowledge is within you. And if you're not willing to come and drink like a king, with the manners of the king, at the table of one, where you're not just seeking an add-on to your life, where you're not just seeking more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to have a bigger house, better quality of life, greater income, more influence, a legacy. When you come into the now, without time, timelessly, when you're willing to begin to know who you are and take the mantle off of false humility and all the religion and religious suffering and all the mantras and all the little prayers that you prayed. Oh God, forgive me of all my sins, sin, sin, sin. What is sin? Who's defining sin? Who's defining your life for you? I suggest you do now, because you're the creator of you. And it's time you define your own life, way, and kingship. And the only way you will come into it is as a little child in humility, asking questions, writing the answers, because this is school. And the school of the mighty many are fallen no more. For a theory, for a book of the law, for a shield of faith, for an armor of God that keeps them in flesh, serving the earth and its people. I'm no longer earth people limited to. I'm raising an army, not. I'm raising lovers, creators who will create the love of one and be it. And if you're willing, write me, write to me, write me, send me a check, help me out, generosity. Do what you feel. What value is there in it? What value is in these words? Are you creating a new mentality with it that will no longer serve mammon? Or will it be a womanality, no longer the patriarchy of? Will you no longer be looking for a God to serve, a God to obey? Will you live by your inner voice, that you no longer chide and scorn? Will you no longer think that you're separate from God, the creator of you? Who told you you were separate? Oh, you think you can't do the miracles because you don't know how? Okay, I get it. I understand. I can't do all I want to do yet either, but I'm learning. I'm in school. I'm schooling this way. I'm schooling me. And there are many me's in the earth now who will take up the shield of faith no more, but grow the face of God in their mirror, becoming a race of light people according to Jesus the pattern, and begin to write the first person words of me, that God is, that you are, the one mind. The consciousness of love perfected begins in you first, for you. Forgiving you of all your sin, of all your ignorance, the ridiculous things you've done, omitted, overtly, covertly, surreptitiously. I'm asking you to become leaders of faith no more. I'm asking you to become leaders of light that lead you into separation no more, but becoming the one you heal in the consciousness of one. See Jesus as your pattern and become it. My path began to accelerate as I never imagined in March of 2003. I was in a little chapel, McBurney Chapel in First Methodist Church in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. And I had started going there again to pray an hour a day, like had become my custom since October of '88 at other places. But I had recently started going to and praying there in First Methodist Church. And one morning, I had walked down the hall, come back, and as I was coming into the little chapel, the way I've said it for decades, I felt God speak to me. Or something somehow communicated with me, you see. Something communicated with me very directly. I encountered a message. I encountered it. And it was this: will you give me your mornings? literally, I put my hand on my forehead like this. I was so shocked, surprised, amazed what I had just registered. And I remember pretty vividly thinking, this affects my income. And I went and laid down on the front row. And at that time, in 2003, at that time, honestly, I was afraid to answer yes or no. I wanted to answer, yes, I can give you my mornings. But I didn't know if I could do it. I wasn't certain I could do it. And I was afraid to say yes and not do it. Afraid to say no. Afraid to say yes or no. So I decided I wouldn't answer yet. And in the following few days, I decided I didn't need to answer with a word, but that I would answer with my actions. And I would just begin to do it. And I did. And oh boy, does it change your income. Change my income, change my life. Family life, everything about it. There is a cost, you see, that's never been preached that I know of. And when it has, it's usually so distorted, convoluted, misunderstood. There is a cost to becoming the real you. The real you that you are in power, might, majesty, beauty, the infinites of the galaxy, of the universe, without time, space, or gravity having its hold on you. You see, Jesus did all the things he did by what? Becoming who he really was. No longer limited by the flesh mentality of the religious world, the world that he grew up in. Set your alarm for 2 a.m. and get up and write me. And me, who is me? Whether it's me in the flesh, or me, God, or you, God, or God somewhere. Begin to write surrenderedly. And don't expect instant gratification. Don't model, don't picture a preconceived outcome of this. If you do, you screw it up. You create out of your cognition, out of your mind, out of your remembrance, out of your programming, because you're the creator of you. And when you come to the throne of grace, when you come to the table of one, where you come as a little child with utter, complete humility, you don't come with preconceived notion. You come with humility and say, here I am. Here I am. And you wait. And you give that hour to God. You give that hour to you. You, God, God, you give it. You give it to love. You give that hour. You watch the clock. You sit surrenderedly with a pen in hand on a yellow tablet. And maybe you'll write something, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have a thought. Maybe you'll write a few notes. But this is not about Bible study. This is not about studying the Bible or writing prayers. This is about being true to truth. Truth that is not limited to this world or its anchor in dimensionality. I'm asking you to love you. And if you're in the school, take out your pen and paper. Set your alarm for 2 a.m. I did it for years. And that's where a lot of database one, my covenant. Theodore's covenant, my covenant of joy, life, peace, laying down the flesh, becoming infinite. The joy of the new covenant. How I know a lot about what's coming about. I know a lot about countries, rulers, and leaders. I know something about the future. Because it came through my pen. A lot of it came through my lips that I recorded. In those words early on, several times, I recall words coming through me that said, ask them to help you. Ask them to help you. Ask them to help transcribe these words. See, 2003, we didn't have all this ease of transcription available. So I did in my recordings. One woman stood up, Barbara Burdett. She called me up. She lived in Tulsa. She said, Ted, I will transcribe your words. I'm willing to for 1 year. And at the end of that year now, I'm going to stop. But I'll do it for a year. And my gosh, she did. So at the time, when I used to get up at 2 a.m., there were times I wrote, but most of the time I learned and I began to speak. And I put them on a little microset recorder. So I got to where every morning I would go by her house and exchange the new tape. And she would transcribe it. So probably 300 or more of the lessons in Database 1 she transcribed. The rest I did. What are you giving your life to? Just making a living? Serving God? There's more to the story. And I'm asking you to live love and not be afraid of your power. I'm asking you to no longer shun your beauty. I'm asking you to be finite no more. I'm asking you to be no more limited to money that comes in from the sweat of your brow. I'm asking you to create a school that you are in, that you come into with the knowing, with the knowledge of the cost. So it doesn't surprise you. It costs. It's costly. It's the most costly school of all. I've recorded several videos with that title that speaks directly to that. This is the costliest school on planet Earth. This is not about entertainment. It's not about faith. It's not about pleasing God. It's not about knowing the story. It's not about worship and praise. This school is about becoming who you are by the operation of the new covenant, the new and living covenant that's not in a book or any language. It's what you allow to come through you. And as it, this energy of love, energeia, this energy of love, this humility begins to flow and come through you, and you generate something becoming one in the mind, in the consciousness, in the creative center, the creative chamber. Not the labyrinth of a polymath, but a simple human being where God is no longer the Lord and you're no longer serving that which you've been taught you were under. But you come with the willingness of a child to say, how can this be? Isn't that what Mary said? When the angel told her she would conceive a child. I've not known a man. How can this be? But she did not reject it. She pondered. I love the word. She pondered these things in her heart, the mind of her consciousness. She pondered. She conceived by that word that she did not abort with her consciousness. She pondered the message, that energy conceived energy, not limited to the finite, and brought forth. That's the story. That's the privilege. You have the opportunity to do the same, where you can be the message, the messenger, the conceivee, the conceivor, the creator, the createe. Your creation is you. And you're creating now, if you're willing to learn by the X-Men, the X-Files, not, or are you changing everything? You go rogue, not again for. Or are all these missions I'm talking about not impossible anymore? Oh, Neo, are you listening? Mary, do you hear me? Right in love, to love. Now, don't expect instant gratification. Don't expect God to jump to your commands, your wants, your desires. Be tender. Be humble. Woo God. Woo God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Court, date, love, romance, woo. This is a romance. Do you remember if you've listened? One time many years ago, I was, you know, I was married for 33 years or such. And on some occasion, I bought a rose for my wife. And as the best I recall, the next morning, when I was in early morning prayer, my hour a day, as became my custom, beginning in October of '88. I'm an old man. Here comes these words, this energy, this identification of a message or something. Again, early on said, all of a sudden, will you bring me a rose? Again, I was like flabbergasted, speechless. I didn't know how to respond. I thought, what? How do I bring God a rose? Where do I take it? What do I do with it? And I've told this, I think, once or twice over the years. So I dealt with it 2 or 3 days, and finally it was so on me. I bought a long stem rose in a vase, and I didn't know what else to do. I took it to where I had encountered that message. I took it to that little chapel. This was way before I, I attended in First Methodist, which was only a very short time. But I was in another church, a chapel near my home. And I took it and put it in front of the little chapel. I've taken communion with myself many times, hundreds and hundreds of times. The body and blood broken for you, my body broken for you, my body broken to be who I really am. The message, not looking for a soon coming king, a Messiah, a solver of all my problems. I became the priest in my life of me, to me. Without an external influence saying, you must do this. You must do this to please God. You must do this to be born again. You must do this, that, and the other. No, I tell you, if you want to be in this school, you begin to learn to be taught by you, in you, through you, letting love flow through you so that you become a receiver, not a vessel for something else, but you become the one it is. Whether you're a woman, male, bi, gay, straight, goofed up, no matter what you think of your beauty, your power, you are infinite and lovely. You see, flesh will no more limit you as you increasingly become who you really are, by learning who you really are, by the word that will flow timelessly, without dimensions, without label, without qualification, without condemnation. This unconditional love, this language of light, this light energy, this language of love, this language that has no name, spirit talk, spirit language, whatever you want to call it. Love will commune. Love will communicate. And love will romance you if you romance it. Yes, love itself. Love itself. You begin to encounter something at the table of one that you never imagined. You, you begin to encounter something between the hours of 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. That's what it was for me. And that's what it is in Database 1. My covenant, the covenant that I've written the first 2,400 lessons of shame, not, but for you to eradicate all the shame and effort and striving to please a God, a man, a woman, a person on earth, a supervisor, a manager, an employer. You're the kingdom of love, light, joy, and peace in you. No longer limited to your ignorance if you will be in this school. The school of me, the school of love, the school of limitless love, infinite joy, light, without dogma. If you want to hold on to your faith, don't come here. I am loving Two Shoes Cottingham, raising an army not, but light lovers who love each other, who are not after friends, who are not after vanquishing their enemies, are becoming something they're not, but becoming the real, no longer wearing the helmet of flesh limited to it, no longer trying to put on an armor of God or know the scripture, but becoming the living word through living the love that knows no limit to your power. Be gentle with you. Be tender with each other. Be gentle and tender with each other. Be kind and gracious. Love, the unconditional kind. Love knows no law. Love, unconditional love, knows no exclusion. Unconditional love doesn't even know what condemnation is because it's never had it as a part of its consciousness. Amen. Good day. I'm going to play pickleball. I'm an old guy in Eureka Springs. You can write me. You can love me. Many will hate this message because they cannot control it. Now, again, don't expect instant gratification. Don't expect God to just start pouring out all this wisdom, knowledge, and information to you in volumes and reams that you don't know what to do with just because you set your alarm 1 or 2 days. You come and allow yourself to fall in love in a new way with light, love. You can't rush it. You can't define the time. I don't know how long it will take you. But if you love love, love will commune with you in ways unimaginable, with the tenderness of creation, magnanimous, glorious. Praying an hour a day began as my custom in October of '88, praying to God like normal devout Christians do. but then with my flavor, my flair, my my way of what I could do. I began to pour out my heart. And a lot of times I would just be kneeling there. Here I am. I began that in my life in October of '88. Looking back, there's kind of the idea of approximately 7-year intervals where things in my life began to change significantly. And in 1995, I began to go to Passion for Jesus conferences, Mike Bickle, Kansas City, and St. Louis. Even later, even went to Toronto. People talk about the Toronto blessing. I was passionate. I was a seeker, a God seeker. I was willing. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more. And during the years of 97, 98, 99, there were times I knew, I felt like I called it, God would speak to me, and I would write a phrase, I would write a sentence. And I began to write. And when I first began to write what I thought God was speaking to me, at first, a lot of times I didn't write it down. And then I thought I should be writing these down, and I want to remember them. And so at times I'd grab a little Post-it note or scrap piece of paper. And one day I felt like God spoke to me and said, "You don't value my words." I thought, oh my gosh. You didn't ask me, you told me. I don't value. I thought I did. I guess I don't. Or at least I think I should. So what do I change? You see, I was in school. I didn't call it school. But I've been in school, especially since October of '88. It accelerated in 1995, but then in those few years before 2003, there were moments that I encountered this energy, a consciousness, a love, direct communication of what I had called God all my life. And I thought, well, if I'm told I don't value the words of God directly into my heart, I must do something different. So I kept asking about it, never got an answer. So I finally decided, well, I show value by changing how I show value. So anyway, the next few days I went and bought a bunch of yellow tablets, put one beside my bed, several rooms in the house, had 2 cars at the time, put pen and paper everywhere, and began to date and organize those things. And the more value that I showed the more value that I gave to what I had been given, more came. You see, even there's a Bible verse. To you who have, more will be given. When you choose your way, when you choose your path, when you choose your values, when you begin to choose love unlimited, when you begin to choose the infinite way, the infinite path, the infinite light, not just a way of miracles, but a way of becoming Jesus, just becoming without preconceived notions. Where you come as love to love and present yourself without any preconceptions, without any condemnation, without any justification. You come as love to love and let love begin to communicate with you. So in March of 2003, when I started spending my mornings, I don't know, I'd been there about 6 weeks. I don't know. So I started spending my mornings, but nothing really changed, except I didn't know how to pray 4 hours a day. And you see, I had to work through, I had to decide myself. What does that mean? Mornings. Is that 3 hours in the morning or 4 hours in the morning? What does that mean? I had to decide. There were so many things. You see, you have to answer because this is leadership development. You learn to mature. You learn to choose. And you learn to consciously create a fearlessness where you're no longer afraid to make a mistake. You're no longer afraid. And at first when the words began to come and I began to channel every day multiple page words like this, the lessons that are in database 1, I was very conscious, concerned about making a mistake, being wrong. And it wasn't long before, and you can find this in database 1, my covenant. Where what I called God at the time, God, the school of God, the force of God, the consciousness of God communing with me, said, do not fear a stray word, getting off, being an error, because if you do, I will come caressingly correct you. Those words, that phrase, I will come caressingly correct you. You see, unconditional love doesn't come in a thundering voice. It doesn't come with a baseball bat or a whip. Unconditional love will commune with you as an equal when you no longer presuppose, and come to it as a separate. If you will learn this, you will accelerate exponentially in the things of God, unconditional love, not the way God is taught by religion. This is the Creator creating the Creator again. The Creator will commune with the consciousness that has separated again as one, if you won't separate it, because it's what you really are. And there's no hierarchy system in unconditional love. There's none of this garbage, taking a rib from a man to become a woman, and therefore being led, letting men lead, having a patriarchal God system. That's trash. That's absolute ignorance. When you want to know love, you become it. And if you're not willing to become it, you'll never know it. You'll exist thinking you're separate from God, inebriated by your own ignorance, and willing to die for what you believe. Or do people die because of their ignorance, their belief, their faith in God for a better life, a better tomorrow, a spirit world that's so ambiguous they have no idea what they're going to or how they will be used again or what they will create there if they do. There's no heaven or hell that's like imagined by the denominations. They want to give you a carrot and a stick and beat you into their conformity of their principles. I laid a lot on the line before you this day. Over an hour. I'm late for my pickleball game. But you're important. You're more important than that. If you want love, you become it. When you want to know love more than anything else in this life, you become it. You grow it. The seed comes to you. The angel, the angelic word, the message, the energy will come through you, where you begin to write it, speak it, record it, date it, value it, live it, commune with it, ask it questions, when it's the most important thing in your existence. This is the cost. If you just want to play with it, toy with it, if you just want more information, an add-on to your life, you'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed forever. You'll be disappointed the rest of your life. You will grow old and decrepit, and you will die. But you don't have to die. You don't have to live according to capitalism. Capitalism values quid pro quo, contract, contractual terms. All of that is, capitalism is all about the transaction. It doesn't value people. Capitalism has no value for people at all. None whatsoever. I value people. I value love. I value lovers. I value lovers who will love each other, no matter what their skin color, no matter what their denomination, their religion, no matter what they wear on their head. No matter how rich or poor you are. You can love love. And no matter where you've been, no matter how immersed you have been in a cult, a religion, atheism, agnosticism, No matter how immersed you have been in a system that separates you from the real you, you can come to know you again, where you do not separate from you, your own creation. Now, no longer assuming a position, a superposition, or entanglement with other. Change your neurons, electrons, protons, electrons, and all the features of your frailty to no longer be the finite limited to my love. Love, love. See love, feel love, become love, speak love, write love, emote, evoke, and be led by love, not by law. Love each other and be the infinite you. And do all the things Jesus did, all the things I did, all the things you did. Oh, you were him? You're still a part of that consciousness that did all the things that Jesus did. They just haven't been activated. They've been dormant, darkened by your temple. What temple? Temple of light, temple of love, temple of peace. Change what you know. Change what you become. And enjoy the love that you are, that you now construct the completion of. The third temple, the original. Except the original, not in the past, but the original today in your shoes. Walk it, be it, and love each other. You first. I love you. This is the course, the Creator's course of the conscious creators. Mind of one, realm of one. Infinite love, wooing infinite love. To no more be under another. Be the equal me with love. Live love. Let love teach. Ask love questions. Write. And destroy your love for each other no more. I love you. Good day. Okay. Write me. You can write me at box 34. Has this meant anything to you? I know the value of me to me. And me's now will begin to see, feel, think, and become and connect all over this land, all over America, all over this globe. And farther. Be the unlimited you, my love, and set you free from all the laws and the realms of man to no longer be on their 13th floor, the movies of. I give you love. I give you me. I give you my words, my experience, my light, to become the exponential you, doing all the things Jesus did and more. I love you. Good day. Thank you so much for sharing these words and being in this school, if you will. Write me. Commune with me, if you like. Box 34, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Good day.